our brother Robert, and we're siblings of Jane. We want to help celebrate Jane's life, but first, I want to thank every single person here who has ever said a prayer for Jane. I don't know about you, but I think that's the best gift one person can give to another person, is to say a prayer. We thank you. And we want to thank God for giving us Jane all these years to love. We thank God so much for that. Our sister Myra Jane, named after her maternal great-grandmother, Mary Jane, was born 72 years ago in February. We knew it was a special day when our daddy had the car wash just to go get her in the hospital. When they brought her home, they brought her into the house and laid her on the bed, and we gathered around, seeing the first baby close up we'd ever seen, except for Judy. She wasn't born yet. And our mother did something sort of unusual, we think. She wrapped Jane up and took her over and put her in the arms of Judy, 3-year-old Judy. From that day on, they had a special bond. They did most everything together. They got their graduate degrees together. They vacationed together. We think Jane may have eaten most of her meals at June's house. But of course, she had a bond with the rest of us too, very special. She loved cake. We'll talk more about that later. She loved cake, and she named Judy's cakes Judy cakes. She was always wanting a Judy cake. With our brother Robert, she had a special bond in that she supported his basketball team when he was coaching. She would go to the games and cheer. She would often show up with balloons or pizzas. And, well, we'll have to tell you that there were times when people moved away from Jane. Cheering so loudly. Our best memory of Jane as a little child was her running across the fields with our cousin Roger, barefoot and laughing and just enjoying life all summer long. And we called her our tomboy. I don't know if that's politically correct anymore, but she was our big tomboy. As Jane grew into a young lady, our mother and grandmother became very concerned that because of all this tomboy stuff, she didn't know how to cook. One day, Mother called Jane into the kitchen. "We're going to make a cake today," she said. And she put out all the ingredients. Jane, and I can just imagine her eyes growing wide, Jane took one look and said, "Oh, I already know all that stuff," and she stomped out of the kitchen. To our knowledge, Jane never baked a cake. Although she often came to Judy for the Judy cakes. And I think you're going to hear more about her cakes later. Is that right?
Sure.
Jane had a lot of zest for life. She loved holidays, she loved her classroom, she loved just having fun, and was always calling for fun. But for a while after her divorce, we thought Jane would die of a broken heart. She was just so sad. But we should have known that all things work together for good for those who love the Lord, because that's when God sent her Mike. She and Mike could make a party out of going out to eat. They loved to worship together. They just had fun together. And we thank God so much for Mike. I'd like to end, our grandfather Dutton ended every prayer with the words, "God, when you're done with us, receive us home into that home that will never end." We're glad you're there, Jane. You've been received home, and we know it will be forever. We've heard there's no time in heaven. You'll turn around and you'll see us. We'll see you too. And we'll see you in beautiful fall leaves. We'll see you in the Christmas pageants that you organized every Christmas Eve. And we'll see you on every decoration day as we cut a beautiful cake. I checked this book out a while back from the library. It's called How to Say Goodbye. And there's lots of good little words in here. There's words like, I love you, I'm sorry, I forgive you, thank you. And at the very end it says there's just one word left to say, and that's goodbye. But I want to tell you that we sisters and brothers don't believe that. We don't think that's the last thing to say. We think that the last thing to say is we'll see you. Just like we'll see you in the leaves and in the Christmas pageants and in the cake. We know we'll see her again. Thanks be to God.